Don't let your love pass you by. Weep not for the memory. Remember the good times that we had. Let them slip away from us when things got bad. Clearly I first saw you smiling in the sun. I wanna feel your warmth upon me. I wanna be the one. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your love pass you by. Weep not for the memories. I'm so tired, I can't sleep. Standing on the edge of something much too deep. Funny how we feel so much, but cannot say a word. We are screaming inside, oh, we can't be heard. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your love pass you by. Weep not for the memories. So afraid to love you, more afraid to lose. Clinging to a past that doesn't let me choose. Once there was a darkness, a deep and endless night. You gave me everything you had, oh, you gave me life. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your love pass you by. Weep not for the memories. Weep not for the memories.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for braving the cold, the rain that's supposed to be here, the wind that's supposed to be here, and eventually coming inside. I hope it doesn't get too warm for you. I hope you're not bundled too much. We intended to be outside, but here we are. Tonight we gather as a community bound together by shared experience of loss. Just as the song we heard spoke of remembering with love, so too do we gather here to remember our loved ones, holding their memories close and keeping them alive in our hearts. In choosing music for this evening, I felt that the song I Will Remember You, performed by the Sibling Sounds, perfectly set the tone for our time together. As we mindfully listened to the song, we were reminded how beautifully the words capture the bittersweet nature of love and loss. The song, a heartfelt promise to carry the memory of a loved one, even after they are gone. It reminds us that although we may have to say goodbye, the bonds we share live on forever in our hearts. The Forever in Our Hearts gathering is a time for us to support one another in our grief journeys. offering comfort through words, music, lighting of candles, the sharing of food and drink. This is a space where we can lean on each other, find companionship, and embrace the healing power of togetherness. I will remember you as a poignant reminder that in grief, the memory of those we've lost remains eternal. They live on, and we carry the moments that we have cherished. Let us now take a moment to reflect, to grieve, and to celebrate the lives that have touched us so deeply. I want to share something personal with you. Over 30 years ago, when my grandmother died, I realized how deeply alone one can be in their grief. Even as a funeral director, even in the midst of helping others through their loss, I felt the isolation and the weight of sorrow. Grief is physically painful. It can make us feel like we are carrying a burden too heavy for our hearts. I am Holly McComas, part of the 7th generation of the McComas family. I take great pride in continuing the legacy of caring for the dead in Harford County, a tradition that has been passed down in my family for over 2 centuries. This journey, which I have shared with my brother Howard IV and my father Howard III, is not just one of service, it's one of love, empathy, grounded in understanding that grief is universal and that none of us should walk this grief path alone. Over the past several years, I have seen how this grief journey has transformed. What once may have been a community of mourning and mutual support has too often become a solitary experience where people struggle to find the space to grieve openly and mourn with others. Tonight, it is my sincere hope for those of you who are struggling with heavy burdens of sorrow, heartbreak, and loss, that you will find solace here. Let the light of the candles remind us that even in our darkest times, there is warmth. Let the music soothe our aching hearts. Let the camaraderie of this community bring comfort. As we share collectively, we remember and support each other. Thank you again for being here and for sharing this evening of remembrance. Let us walk through this time of mourning with love and light. Before we hear our special song for this evening, I'd like to share a few words about the meaning and how it fits this evening's event. The song we're about to hear, Keep Me in Your Heart by Willie Nelson, is a deeply beautiful and heartfelt tribute to the enduring bond between those we love and ourselves, even after they're gone. It speaks to the timeless connection that lives on in our memories, in our hearts, and in the quiet moments when we feel their presence, if only in spirit. In times of grief, when words alone often fall short, music has a way of reaching into our souls, offering us comfort and understanding. This song gently reminds us that even though we may be apart from our loved ones, their love and memories continue to live on within us forever. It's a message of enduring love, hope, and finding a place in our hearts to keep those we've lost. As we listen, let us reflect on the ones who are no longer with us, but who will always be forever in our hearts.
Shadows are falling and I'm running out of breath. Keep me in your heart for a while. If I leave you, it doesn't mean that I love you any less. Keep me in your heart for a while. When you get up in the morning and you see that crazy sign, keep me in your heart for a while. There's a train leaving nightly call when all is said and done. Keep me in your heart for a while. La 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 lo. Keep me in your heart for a while. La 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 lo. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sometimes when you're doing simple things around the house, maybe you'll think of me and smile. You know I'm tied to you like the buttons on your blouse. Keep me in your heart for a while. Hold me in your thoughts, take me to your dreams, touch me when I fall into you. When the winter comes, keep the fires lit, and I will be right next to you. Engine drivers heading north up to Pleasant Street. Keep me in your heart for a while. These wheels keep on turning, but they're running out of steam. Keep me in your heart for a while. La 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 lo. Keep me in your heart for a while. La 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 lo. Keep me in your heart for a while. Keep me in your heart for a while. Keep me in your heart for a while.
Well, good evening, everyone. Man, I'm so glad you're here tonight. Thank you for being here and for joining us. I want to begin tonight by extending a heartfelt thank you to the McComas family for their continued tradition of service excellence to us in the community as we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and for hosting such a special evening as this. I am deeply grateful to them for their service to all of us, and what an honor for me to be a part of this program with you tonight. I think it's such a beautiful theme, the idea of forever in our hearts gathering. And for each of us who have lost someone near and dear to our hearts, keeping them forever in our hearts is our greatest desire. Your loss may have occurred some time ago, maybe several years ago, and you find that this is a nice time to gather and just to remember and to pay honor. It's possible that you lost your loved one in more recent days or weeks, and tonight's gathering is just another step in the direction of finding help and hope to make it through. That you're caught in the grip of grief. Your mind is so easily distracted, and your emotions limit your motivation to move on. Well, I have good news for you tonight. I really do. It is possible to keep your loved one in our hearts forever, and we can embrace every possibility of moving forward. So for the next few minutes, if you don't mind, I want to encourage you to consider some ways that might be helpful to you to keep your loved one in your hearts. It's important for us that we honor our loved one's memory. That seems pretty basic, pretty standard, but I want to share with you a few ways that might be able to happen. First off, I'd encourage you to take the time to reflect and to remember. Some place in your world and your environment, it would be helpful to create a place of memorial, a place that you can go to and pause and let it be an inspiration to you. Maybe it's those moments that you go to the cemetery or you go to the mausoleum, but you have a place of memorial that when you go, you keep your loved one in your heart as you think of them. I would encourage you to consider acknowledging every milestone moment. I often refer to that in my services that I conduct, that there are milestone moments in all of our lives, whether they're birthdays or anniversaries or when the kids were born or grandkids or that award at work, that promotion, that memorable vacation, milestone moments in the calendar that sometimes you dread. Imagine if you anticipated that milestone moment and you turned it into a time to really be thankful and think of your loved one. This is pretty common sense, but I encourage you to wear out the pages of your photo albums. We love the photos of our loved ones, don't we? And they bring us back to times in our lives to remember and to reflect. I want to also encourage you to relive your memories. Maybe a little more difficult to do, but I would encourage you to visit the places that your loved one loved to visit. And when you do, think of them, keep them in your heart. Something that my wife does, my wife makes the recipes that her mom always made. She doesn't make bread, but what her mom is in her heart. And she uses her wooden spoon, and it turns into a great time, especially for me when the bread is baked. And you can take a look at me. I love every bite of it. I encourage you to listen to your loved one's favorite song. The music has a way of bringing us back, doesn't it? When we hear a song of familiarity and it takes us to a point and takes us to a place. And I guarantee you, when you listen to the favorite song of your loved one, you can almost hear them singing it with you. I want to encourage you to listen for their voice. It may not be the audible sound, but you'll be able to hear them speaking. And encourage you tonight, I encourage you to listen to the words and the expressions that they once used. And you know it's going to be interesting. The more you do, the more you're going to incorporate those words and expressions in your own vocabulary. And every time you do, you'll hold them close to your heart. I would encourage you to recognize the footprints of their lives, the way that their life has marked others' lives. Recount the ways that they've made a difference in your life, the ones that for far too long you may have overlooked. Notice the influence that they've had on your children and on your grandchildren. And when you notice them, you're keeping them close in your heart. I always encourage my families that I serve and work with to continue to tell the stories of your loved one. And I will add to you tonight, I encourage you to tell the good stories and maybe the not so good stories. You might think that's not fair, but yeah, we can learn from the stories of our loved ones' lives, the lessons that are valuable for us as we continue to live our lives. And future generations need to hear the stories of our loved ones. It's called passing along the heritage that we oftentimes take for granted. Tell the stories. As your kids mature and grow, they'll understand. And as you tell the stories and talk about the moments that meant so much to you, you'll be spending valuable time with your loved one close to your heart as you do. I would encourage you to respond to others who may be going through what you have experienced. You are not alone. You know that, don't you? Others have been where you are. Others are where you have been. And that's why we really do need each other to make it through. I'd encourage you to be involved in acts of service, volunteering maybe to help others who are experiencing what you have experienced. I would encourage you to look outward instead of inward. I know firsthand it's always easy in our sorrow to look in. I encourage you to look out. And I would encourage you to look up instead of looking down. And as you do, you'll find that your grief will strangely be replaced with feelings and thoughts of gratitude as you keep your loved one in your heart. Let me close with a brief story. It was Thursday, April the 7th, 2016. There was a knock at John and Candy's door, and she'd made her way to see who was standing there, thinking it was probably either FedEx or Amazon. You know how it is at your house, mine. Standing before her were two Harford County Sheriff's deputies, an experience that she would never wish on anyone. Brandon, their 20-year-old son, had been killed in an auto accident on his way to work. Their lives were now changed forever. Well, as they processed their grief, as they held Brandon close to their hearts, they were frequently reminded of a phrase that Brandon would say so often: don't waste your life. Brandon would constantly remind them, don't waste your life. John and Candy Tolson never imagined that the words of their son, the son who they loved so dearly, would have such an impact on their lives, as through his death they discovered a renewed purpose in life, an opportunity to bring hope and help to others, to many who have also gotten that knock on the door. And through their efforts of the Brandon Tolson Foundation, others today are finding hope. And across Harford and Baltimore counties, our surrounding John and Candy have found such a beautiful and meaningful way to keep Brandon in their heart. When we lose someone we love, we must learn not to live without them, but to live with the love that they left behind. Because grief is an expression of love. So is gratitude. I know each of your journeys may seem long. We all handle our season of grief and sorrow so differently. But there's an old gospel song that says it best, and I'm not going to sing it for you tonight. You can relax. You want me to? No, I want to. Sorry, guys, you're the musicians. But it says it so best, and may these words encourage you tonight, for the song says, hold on, my child. Joy comes in the morning. Weeping only lasts for the night. Hold on, my child. Joy comes in the morning. Your darkest hour means dawn is just in sight. And so it's so important in moments like this tonight that we can celebrate the strength for today and bright hope for tomorrow as we allow the radiant light of a candle to represent the never-ending light of hope as we together keep our loved ones in our hearts. May God bless each and every one of you tonight.
Thank you, Doug, for that message. In just a moment, we'll be listening to a song, Be Okay. And as we do, I'm going to invite each of you to come forward and light a candle. And I want you to let the gentle glow of the flame serve as a symbol of love, warmth, and light that your loved one brought into your own life. As the song plays, may we find comfort in the melodies, lyrics, remembering that although the journey of grief is difficult, it is okay to carry on the light of those we've loved with us and to hold on to hope that we will still be okay. Please feel free to come forward when you are ready. I'm going to invite everybody to go to the right side of the room, get a candle, light it, and return to your seats for the left side of the room.
You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Oh, the sun will keep on rising in that old familiar way. Every little thing is gonna be okay. You're gonna be alright. Darling, you're gonna be alright. 'Cause the stars will keep on shining through the darkest night. And you can know you're gonna be alright. Lift your eyes to the hills. Remember where your help comes from. Lift your eyes to the hills. You'll never face a valley alone. 'Cause even when your heart is breaking and you've gone and lost your way, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. I know that you'll be alright.
remember that part about me being a funeral director? Grief is hard, and it's okay. As we continue this time of remembrance, in just a moment, I'll be inviting you to turn towards a neighbor to take a moment to share who you're grieving and what that person meant to you. Grief can feel isolating, but we are all united in love and loss. By sharing with one another, we create a space for healing and connecting, honoring not only our individual journeys, but also the shared experience of remembering and supporting each other. In just a moment, I'm going to have you turn to someone next to you, speak from your heart, and let the memory of your loved one be a part of this community's collective strength. I'll start. This has been a tough year. I've lost my father-in-law, his wife, and very recently, a very dear friend, Deacon Vic Petrosino. My father-in-law and his wife were very special, of course, because they were family, and we shared so many family times. Deacon Vic was very special to me personally because he was there for my families that I was serving, and he served them with the same heart that I have when I sit down with a family. And I feel the loss for the community as well as myself. I knew this was going to be difficult. Thank you for bearing with me. I went first. Now it's your turn. Please turn to your neighbor, someone behind you, someone next to you, someone that doesn't know you, and share your story. As we continue to honor the memory of our loved one, in just a moment I'll invite you to come forward once again. I'll have you come forward to the heart-shaped vase that's up front. And I'm going to invite you to pick up a heart stone and gently place it in the vase. And then on the other side, I'm going to have you take a stone and keep it. You're going to take the stone and keep it as a touchstone that you will hold on to remembering your loved one in your heart. It will be a symbol of your love, something to keep with you and remind you that their love is always going to be a part of you. No matter where life takes you, that they will always be forever in your heart. This is a moment to hold on to love, to carry it forward, and to remember that the bonds we share with those that we have lost are truly never broken. Please come forward and take a stone, place it in the vase, and keep a stone. So what I love about this exercise is you see the stones that are in the vase, and you see how many different kinds of colors we have, how many different stones are in here. Each of us has lost someone, and each of us grieves differently. Two people could have lost a spouse or a parent, but that doesn't mean their grief is the same, and that's important to know, and it's important to realize. That's what that exercise was about. So hold on to that stone and remember. As we begin to conclude this evening, I know this has been a lot of audience participation. We're going to do this one more time. As we begin to conclude this evening, I'm going to invite you to sing a song with us. It's going to be Put a Little Love in Your Heart. The love we have shared tonight, the memories we've honored, and the hearts we've placed in the vase together all remind us of the importance of carrying on that love forward. As you hold the sharp heart-shaped stone that you've received, let it be a symbol, a reminder that love is light that never fades. It is a love that continues to live in us, shape who we are, and how we share ourselves with others. Just as the song encourages us to spread a little love in the world, we carry that love with us forever in our hearts. Let's sing together, lift our voices and our hearts in honor of those we've lost and in remembrance of those that we will always remain forever in our hearts. Okay.
Love your fellow man, take my loving hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. When the day goes by and still the children cry, put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know we won't let hatred grow, put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. 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 Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart.
As we come to a close of this special time together, the McComas staff will be coming around with an offer of a small gift. It's a heart-shaped photo frame. This frame is our way of honoring your loved one and providing you with another tangible reminder that their memory will always live on in your heart. We hope that you will place a photo of your loved one in there and keep them close, allowing their memory to continue to bring light and love into your life. Please accept this gift with our deepest sympathy and know that we are here for you now and in the days to come. And you will be forever in our hearts. Thank you.